guest on High Crimes, become a $10 patron and you'll be randomly invited to join us on stream. Alright guys, so tonight we're going to cover the story of the brother that outsmarted his sister's killer in the most unexpected way. Yes, yeah, the surgery, the plastic surgery I got done is really fooling most people, though. I think it was worth it. Let me put the Streamlabs link in the chat. What's up, guys? So, Synchrone, Whiskey, Zarina. I saw Remy was here. Trisha, how's everybody doing? Sorry, I made us run a little late. I had to go get a cheeseburger. And beer, which was kind of annoying because I went to the gas station I normally go to, and I normally just get like a 12-pack for $13. But they closed their doors between 11 and 12 now for some reason, and so I go to the next gas station, and for the most part all they got is 18 packs. I don't even know if I could fit all of them in my backpack, and so I gave in to getting a 12-pack of this Michelob Ultra priced beer. Yeah, at least it was there. I just said, fuck it. Hopefully we do good tonight on the goal. It was $22 for the 12-pack, but they're not 12 ounces, they're 16. But still, I want to just get... That's why I got it, because I've tried it recently, and it's like, or maybe not tried it recently for the first time, but I've been drinking a little recently, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty smooth, it seems. So, you know, we're here, me and Dirt, and then we have Timmy, but I guess he's asleep. Yeah, he said he wanted to be on and everything. So everybody hit the like button. Let's try to get to 15 or 20 likes. In fact, how about if we could get to 20 likes, I'll open up a beer to just get this started. Oh shit, I messed up. One of the things I forgot, the only thing I forgot was to mute the Discord chat. Sorry guys, yes, Dirt was
I had such a good pitch.
I'm sorry guys. He was explaining now, I don't know if you want to re-explain, but
I can do it, it's fine. Listen, unfortunately seasick butt chugging is not on the menu, but you may have noticed that there is indeed now a menu. And there are selectable options on this menu where you can attach to your donation a request for weed or beer. And for limited time only, while supplies last, so I don't get truly shit-faced, for a donation of $6.69, not only will I take a shot of this white label Kraken, but you'll also cause a pair of titties to appear on the screen. Now, they are in fact fully clothed, fully ad-friendly, monetizable, YouTube-friendly titties, but they're titties nonetheless. Titties that are worth drinking for.
Yeah.
It's pretty much what I said.
I won't be taking shots. I don't even have anything to take shots. So if you tip for a shot, that'll be Dirt doing it. If you tip for beer, I guess we'll both drink a beer. Is that what it's going to be?
Yeah, I'm cool with that. You better do a weed, too. You got weeds to do?
And if they tip $5 and say weed, yeah, we'll smoke. We'll take a big rippity-roo. We'll smoke some weed. So, all right, we're gonna go ahead and get into this story. Hopefully, we could do good tonight with the support. We've been doing really good lately. Let's go ahead and get into it. Brother outsmarts his sister's killer in the most unexpected way. Now, again, we always like to say, this isn't your grandma's true crime podcast. You know, and if she had a podcast, it wouldn't be nearly as good, obviously. But
something like nice and cozy you could sit by the fire and listen to while you crochet your grandson a knit beanie.
Yeah.
Right? It's not that kind of podcast.
Yeah, so we will make crude humor, dark jokes sometimes on this podcast, but it's all in good faith, and we're not trying to disrespect the victims. So yeah, be prepared to hear a joke every now and then. So all right, let's get right into this.
That guy just didn't kill my daughter.
Oh my God.
Then he
Yeah,
went
that's
out
me.
one night and he went to some girl's trailer and went in with the intention of kidnapping her.
It's not that I don't feel emotion, but I keep a very tight rein on it.
I used to go to high school with him. He was creepy to me.
There was Death, the high priestess.
Killed my goddamn sister.
It's giving the detectives a tarot reading?
Is that what that was?
Fuck? Yes, those are tarot cards he was just laying out to the detective.
Okay, I heard High Priestess, and my brain
Death.
automatically went to
Telling you.
Yu-Gi-Oh or something, or not Yu-Gi-Oh.
Those are-
I don't know, one of those things.
Let me tell you, those are ominous portents, because Death and the High Priestess are both cards that can be found in the major arcana, dude. So that's serious business this guy's dealing with.
Whoa. I'm gonna do a tarot card reading, bro.
From the moment Lee was born, Max Porter was very protective of his little sister. The two remained as thick as thieves all throughout high school. And when Max went off to college to major in massage therapy, Lee followed him as soon as she could, even going into the same major. Unfortunately, these siblings couldn't be joined at the hip forever. And when Max moved to California after college, Lee began to struggle. She fell behind in school and eventually dropped out. At 19, she began a relationship with a 38-year-old man named Jesse. According to interviews with Jesse, it was while dating him that Lee found herself immersed in a world full of parties, drama, and heroin. This went on for months, with Lee's friends and family noticing her rapid decline into addiction and depression. In May of 2014, Lee made a concerning post on Facebook. "Some nights, I can't sleep. I end up staying up all night thinking of all the things in my life I f***ed up. You'd think after trying really hard to get back up on my feet and actually doing it, I'd be proud of myself, but nope. I simply can't get out of this state of depression. I would love it if someone would talk to me right now, with an open mind and heart." Lee's DMs were soon filled to the brim with people reaching out to help her. One of the many friends and family members who reached out was a man named Christopher Waide. The two had known each
What a cool hairdo he's got going on there.
This looks like a dude who would sell me a fat bag of H and then give me a tarot reading.
Yeah.
other in high school, but hadn't been incredibly close. Regardless, Chris reached out and told Lee that if she ever needed someone to talk to, he was always there. Seeing him as someone who cared about her well-being, she began confiding in him about the struggles she'd been going through. Jesse was planning on moving away in order to get clean, meaning Lee was about to be homeless. She also told him about her struggles with addiction. Despite the bad choices she'd made, Lee wanted nothing more than to get her life on track, and she was determined to get sober. Eager to help his friend, Chris offered to be her accountability partner on her journey to sobriety, and he even offered to help her move into a friend's house on June 3rd. With some hope for the future, Lee was looking forward to June 3rd and getting her life on track. However, the date came and went, and those closest to Lee realized that no one had heard from her in over 24 hours. While it might be normal to go days without hearing from a friend or relative, Lee always kept in contact with people, and she would update her Facebook page multiple times a day. Silence from her could only mean one thing. Something was terribly wrong. The last thing Renee, Lee's mother, had heard from Lee was that she was planning on going to Chris's apartment on the 3rd. Renee called Chris to ask if Lee was with him, and he told her that Lee had left his apartment on the 3rd and had gotten into a mysterious truck. Not thinking much of it at the time, Chris informed Renee that he hadn't heard from Lee since she left his apartment, and he was shocked to learn that no one else had either. With no sign of Lee anywhere, Renee got the police involved, and Facebook groups were quickly organized to help find any information regarding Lee's location. After a week with no sign of her anywhere, the police began interviewing those closest to Lee to see if they could shed some light on what may have happened to her. Eager to find her, Chris spoke to police in the hopes that maybe he could help them track down the mysterious truck he had seen Lee get into. The following mostly never-before-seen footage has been analyzed by a qualified team, including a licensed attorney, a licensed
Pair of
clinical...
stoners.
Yeah, they're talking about us, guys. We're licensed stoners. We're professional stoners, okay? We've been doing this a long time. This isn't our
Clinical
first day.
psychological stoners.
Yeah, this ain't our first time on the job, boy.
psychologist,
Forensic
and a
stoners.
licensed professional counselor.
So I understand that Lee actually came and spent some time with you.
Yes.
And you kind of repeated that story ad nauseum, so I'm not going to go through a lot of the details as to that because I've read the reports. And
Yeah.
you went through pretty much in detail with Detective Lopez this morning about how, she started messaging you back and forth on Facebook in the last couple of weeks. And stop me if I'm wrong and correct me if I'm wrong, but let me just summarize this a little bit. She had been messaging you, telling you that her relationship was going bad, asked you about maybe having a place to stay. You agreed to let her do that.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Why would she ask you for a place to stay?
She didn't ask me, I offered it to her.
Okay.
And as far as it wasn't that it was going bad, it was that she had already broken up with her boyfriend. I asked her if she needed a place to stay or if she needed money or anything like that. She never asked me for money, but she did initially take me up on having a place to crash for a while until she got back on her feet.
As soon as detectives begin questioning Chris on his relationship with Lee, his hand comes up to his face. This could be a sign of discomfort and self-soothing, which detectives will likely take note of. However, being in an interrogation in front of police would make anyone uncomfortable.
Tell me, Chris, why would you be so generous and offer to let your place be used by a young drug user?
I guess the best answer to that would be is because she's a friend. And I'm extremely loyal to my friends. If any of them, even the ones I haven't spoken to in years, were to ask me for it, I'd give them the shirt off my back.
Chris starts out his response by saying, I guess the best answer would be. This seems to imply that he's not just answering, but instead, he's thinking about the best way to answer and the way that would be the most acceptable to the detectives. The truth would likely be a bit of niceness mixed with a bit of self-serving motivation. While this is a completely standard motivation for helping someone, Chris is clearly worried that this might make him look suspicious. His words here are likely a slip-up, as they show he's more interested in giving the best answer rather than the truth.
I asked her, where am I meeting you so we can go and get your stuff and get you moved in. I tried asking her several times on that, but she never really replied to that. She would always change the subject.
Did she ever get mad at you and act like you were prying?
No, not to my knowledge.
So during this most recent time when she was spending time with you, was she ever angry?
No, she was very depressed though. Then around 1 o'clock, we went over to the Boston Market off of 92nd and Sheridan.
During this time you were with her, did she talk about her drug problem at all?
No. I asked her how she was doing, and she said she was doing good, and that she hadn't had any temptations or hadn't been using again.
Did she seem like she was high at that time?
Not really. It seemed, now that I think about it, that she was more coming down off of it.
Chris states that he believed Lee might have been coming down off of a high. The short-term effects of coming down would be an elevated heart rate, elevated breathing rate, and an increased blood pressure rate, making the individual seem almost panicky. From how we've heard Chris describe Lee that day, she seemed to be calm and quiet to the point of appearing depressed. Based on this description, it seems unlikely that she was actually coming down off a high.
When you said that she was depressed, what did you mean by that?
She had told me she was depressed.
She told you she was?
Yes.
I mean, she
When
came out
she
and
texted.
said, I am depressed.
She texted me on Tuesday morning and said, I'm feeling kind of depressed. Can we hang out?
Okay.
And so I said, okay. And I was making sure that I was trying to keep her as optimistic as possible.
How are you doing that?
I treated her out to lunch. I was being as courteous as possible to her, asking her, you hungry? You want something to eat, some snacks, something to drink when we got back? And she seemed to be somewhat receptive to that, but throughout the whole time, the smiles never went to her eyes. Well, normal smiling will cause the eyes to start to crinkle a little bit, to squint. But when she was smiling, it was just with her mouth. There wasn't any eye movement.
So what does that tell you?
That tells me that she was that she was telling the truth when she was depressed. But now that I think about it, with her coming down, it just might have been that she didn't like lying to me.
Chris is a student of criminal justice at Everest College, so this observation may be something he picked up in a class on nonverbal communication and behavioral analysis, though it also indicates that he was watching her very closely.
So you guys were together then that afternoon after you've eaten at the restaurant?
Yeah.
You're back at your place playing video games?
Yes.
How long did that go on for, you think?
I think it went on for maybe 2 hours or so.
A couple hours.
Yeah.
Does she bring up the depression issue anymore?
No, she doesn't, but I still keep an eye on her.
So you characterizing her behavior then that afternoon as being depressed? Is that what you're
Yes.
saying?
As depressed, but not self-destructive.
By stating that Lee seemed depressed, Chris appears to be leaving open the option that Lee might have taken her own life.
We were just getting ready to get back in the video game, then she leaned in and kissed me. I was letting her go as far as she wanted. Then when it led to the bedroom, we kind of flip-flopped between who had the wheel, so to speak.
What the fuck?
But before
dude?
you actually went into the bedroom, was there some discussion
why the
about that?
details?
Well, I mean, seems like.
I mean, I
you
get
should
it, but
be
like,
detailed and-
at the end of the day, I mean,
Oh.
whoa!
Some people just can't handle their drugs, right? Whiskey. I agree. Everybody that's watching, please hit the like button if you haven't yet. At 20 likes, I'm going to open up the first beer here. It's Michelob Ultra. Can we do that? Can we get 3 more likes on this stream? What were you saying, Dirt?
Oh, I don't remember.
What the hell, dude? Yeah, let's keep it up on the goal. Help with the goal up there, guys, and hit the like button. Help the stream.
When she started taking off her sweater, I broke it off and asked, "Are you sure about this? Is this? I'm not asking you to do this. I made it very clear that I was not wanting to impose that on her or any sort of implication towards that."
Did you end up using a condom?
No, I did not.
So she didn't ask you to, and you didn't have one of you?
I offered to, but she said no.
Was there ever any concern on your part that maybe she'd been pretty active and that possibly you were putting yourself at risk for an STD?
And that's always a possibility with anyone you meet, but that didn't really occur to me till after.
Really? I mean, a known drug user who's doing dope and no place to live, and
Well, it seemed to me from my discussions, and I know I'm saying that a lot, but
Yes,
it
Nicholas
looked to
Rosa.
me from the way she was wording things and the way she was talking that she hadn't really gone that far to get drugs. And I got sort of a confirmation from this from her boyfriend who admitted to using with her for a while, but then started cleaning himself up. That she didn't really like the idea of paying for something.
Although the detectives don't know it yet, this statement from Chris would later play a vital part in their investigation.
Afterwards, she just asked, I'm tired, can I just pass out for a while? And then about, I don't know, an hour and a half back.
As he speaks, Chris has been engaging in a lot of face-touching and stroking behaviors. This kind of continuous movement can indicate doubt or uncertainty. The person might be unsure about a particular idea, question, or situation, and the repetitive gesture could be a self-soothing or comforting behavior used to manage stress or discomfort. Occasional chin stroking wouldn't necessarily be suspect, but Chris has constantly had his hand to his face throughout the interview.
My roommate came back home, and I let him know that, I had a guest over and that we were not decent.
Chris appeared to cover his mouth here. This could be an indication that some part of this statement is either a half-truth or a lie, as sometimes people try to literally cover their lie as it comes out of their mouth.
what did she say inside the bedroom then?
Well, for the most part, she was asleep in my bed. Then afterwards, I was out in the living room, we were talking, that's my roommate's name. Then he said something that caused a light bulb, and that,
All right, Crow's in the chat, and he said that he says that he's into necrophilia, calling it now.
And I don't know if I'd want to disagree if I didn't see him whip out the tarot cards, dude. You put murder and tarot cards and weird sexual behavior all in a bucket, you're getting high crimes. I don't know, dude. This might be our second necrophilia episode.
Yeah, there's not a lot of them, it seems, when it comes to these cases. Lots of murdering and stuff, but not a lot of fucking them after they're dead, kind of thing.
Yeah, this motherfucker's a piece of shit. He preyed on this poor young girl who was abused and that was in a bad drug relationship, and she was trying to get free, and he just preyed on her and probably murdered her in cold blood. And who knows what else. More to be determined. Piece of shit, dude.
Yeah. So we hit 20 likes. I'm gonna open up this beer and do some chugging, guys. All right.
On the opposite side of the spectrum to celebrate, I'm gonna light up this joint.
Whoa.
and I started thinking, and she had that bag with her that she didn't let leave her side. If she went out to get something from her car, she would bring that with her.
What kind of bag are you talking about?
It was a purple bag. I think it was a Crown Royal bag.
So you're talking about one of those little velvet bags that they carry around for stashes, that type of thing?
Yeah. And
in fact, you later looked in that bag.
yes,
Or what did you
afterwards, I saw her drug paraphernalia. I only went through the Crown Royal bag. I think.
So you found out while she was sleeping.
Yeah.
You woke her up.
Yeah, I woke her up very gently. I apologized to her because I had looked into the bag.
What was her response to you violating her privacy?
After I explained myself to her, I think she was annoyed that I had done it without her permission, but I think she understood where I was coming from. Because, as I told her, I was worried about her. So I just wanted to make sure that she was okay.
Notice the change in pitch and rushed way he says okay.
Make sure that she was okay.
He's not being very forceful with the word, as if he knows she wasn't okay. As well, deceptive
Oh,
people
maybe
often
she
engage in what is
OD'd
known
and
as
he didn't
emphasis.
report it or something. Yeah, it could be that. Maybe he didn't straight up outright kill her in cold blood. I don't know. The details will follow.
Emphasis could include many behaviors, with one such behavior being repetition, where the deceptive individual repeats a key point or phrase that supports what they want to instill in the listener's mind. In this case, Chris is repeatedly mentioning how he's a nice guy and was very gentle to Lee, even when he was waking her up and confronting her about her potential drug use.
I woke her up very gently.
It's possible that there was a time when Chris was not so proper and gentlemanly with Lee, so he may want to emphasize this supposed gentlemanly side of himself in order to hide his darker side.
After I woke her up, she still seemed kind of depressed, but not as much. So
after you woke her up to confront her about the
Yes.
drug paraphernalia.
yes, and she still seemed kind of depressed. So I did what I don't normally do. If someone asks me to do a tarot reading for them, I will do a tarot reading for them. But other than that, there's not very many people that I will ask if they would like me to do a tarot reading for them. After I laid out the cards, the first thing that popped out to me were that there were 3 of the major arcana. Those
I told you,
indicate
dude.
something
It was the
significant.
major arcana.
This guy's a freakazoid. I could get carrying around Pokemon cards, but tarot cards, that's fucking dorky.
Show me what you did.
Okay, well,
I mean, it's better for you to show.
Yeah.
Here, I brought them with me because I bring them wherever I go. Let me do a reading for you.
Oh my god.
Explain it, because I'm completely
Alright.
lost.
Notes about some of Chris's past tarot readings would eventually make their way into the hands of law enforcement. His entries clearly express just how seriously he took his interpretations of the meanings behind the cards.
That's
One note in
wild.
particular was especially ominous. It read as follows: The Devil Reversed. This is a curious card to reveal in this position. The devil represents the base nature of man, the primordial chaos as opposed to the reasonable order. The devil is known as the sin card, representing murder, lies, deceit, trickery, and other such things. It is unclear which meaning is right. Based on the position and the reversal, it could mean that I must stick to the straight and narrow. Transversely, it could mean that, in order to get the results I desire, I must do something morally wrong. In time, it seems the meaning behind the card became all too clear for Chris.
well, the cards I used, I remember 2 of them well. I'm about 95% sure on what the
Jeez.
other 3 were. There was
What a fucking
Yeah.
weirdo, dude.
the High Priestess, the 3 of Cups, Ace of Wands, and Judgment.
These detectives are like,
Overall,
what an asshole. Now we have to learn about tarot cards
Yep.
for our stupid investigation. I would be pissed off if I was one of them. Like, I was enjoying this investigation until you brought out your stupid cards, asshole.
I bet you,
Look
yeah,
at all
that. Look at those old men. That dude on the left, he's turned his brain off at this point. He's
Well, that's. I think he'd like to, but that's what I'm saying. He can't though, right? With his
Yeah.
job, he has to pay. He has to look into tarot cards now and get to know it more and stuff, even though it's fucking stupid. And nobody should take it seriously.
I told her that this was was one of the more optimistic readings that I had ever done. A lot of these cards, literally almost all of these cards, Death accepted, are very positive cards. They don't have any sort of, not necessarily negative meaning, but the negative meanings that they do have are not as significant as she would come to physical harm or anything like that.
So you told her it was an optimistic reading.
So wait, is he doing a reading for them on what's going on with
no.
Lee?
He's replicating the reading he gave her.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay, yeah, that makes sense because he picked through the cards. Okay.
So I told her that based off of, what the cards were saying, as well as what she had told me, that though it may not seem like it at a good time, is actually going to be very good for her.
Following this statement, Chris can be seen rubbing his face, which is another sign of his possible anxiety and lack of confidence. Detectives then pivot and begin asking Chris for more information regarding the mysterious truck that supposedly picked Lee up that day.
So how would somebody who contacted her and left either a message or her phone notified her or gave her a notification, how would they even know where she was at?
Honestly, I thought that was her ride. I didn't know if she had a car or not, because she said she needed my car to help with the storage for moving. So I thought that meant she didn't have a car and that she had gotten a ride up here from someone else. It wasn't until Friday afternoon that when her brother Max called me that I even realized she even had a car.
We need to do we need to watch this whole interview and then count up how much time he has his hand on his chin versus how much he has it off of his chin.
It seems like every time they pause it, he's touching his face. Yeah.
Yeah, like who the fuck do you talk to that's just like this the whole time? Yeah. It's like
He's being very mysterious as he reads and ponders tarot cards.
Yeah, literally, like, I don't know how far we're into this interview, but it probably goes on for hours. He probably literally spent hours with his hand to his chin like that.
This is actually a lie. Lee's car was found abandoned at Chris's apartment complex. Not only does this show that Chris is being dishonest, but it also calls into question why Lee would get into a mysterious truck if her vehicle was with her. Had she been planning on coming back?
Well, earlier you said that when she would keep that bag with her at all times. When she went out to her car.
Oh.
Here, Chris is caught in another of many lies. When confronted over his conflicting statements regarding Lee's car, Chris stops talking and can be heard taking many deep breaths. When individuals are anxious, the body needs more oxygen.
I like
So
how we got the
people will use
playback on those back-to-back sighs.
various
Let's
methods to
run
get that
back.
oxygen, such as breathing deep or sniffing.
Have you ever traveled with her anywhere after that?
No.
Once she got in that truck and left your parking lot, you have not
That was
seen
the
her
last
since.
I have seen of her.
Where did you go with her?
The only place I went with her, besides within my apartment, was to Boston Market, and I showed the officers when they arrived the receipt for the Boston Market.
You didn't go anywhere else with her?
Nowhere else.
You want to come and join us, Red Eye?
Yeah, fuck being out cold, dude. It's time to be in hot.
We could use a British person here.
Oh yeah, we could use somebody from Florida. Make the stream a little more exotic.
Yeah, Timmy is supposed to be here with us, but he's asleep. He's with us, but asleep, I guess. Either he died or he's asleep. One of the two. If he died, we'll be doing an episode on Timmy soon, so I'm looking forward to that. But, yeah, we could bring you in, Red Eye. This Timmy guy's leaving us hanging.
Yeah, dude. You wouldn't even have to change the cameras. You just get that Timmy guy out of here. He'll message in the chat when he's up.
Yeah, you know what? I should do that just because he's asleep and doesn't even know he's on here. If Red Eye joins, I don't know
We're
if the
being
gay
prepared. No
homosexual-
pressure, dude. No pressure. But get in
Lots of
get in your
pressure.
computer chair, fire it up. Come on. Good morning. Rise and shine. It's time for crime. You have 4.5, Red Eye. Just kidding. I can't do you like that, buddy. Take your time. We'll drag you in when we see her. Just say something in chat.
Okay.
Have you traveled yourself towards the DIA, out towards the airport at all in the last couple of days?
No.
Since she's left, you've not gone out that direction.
No, not at all.
There's schools up around
I take
Grant and 97 and Grant.
yes.
Have you gone east of there?
No, not really. I don't really get out all that much. For the most part, I might go out maybe once in a blue moon and have a drink at the bar. But other than that, I stay at home, watch movies or work on my book or whatever, or what have you.
So we would need to get a printout from your phone's provider. Who's your phone provider?
TrackPhone?
I know it's TrackPhone. Is that the actual company that
Yes.
provides the service?
Yes.
And TrackPhone was able to give us the coordinates for every time your phone pinged somewhere.
Yeah.
Which they can do. I don't know if you know what
Yeah.
that means, but when your phone is activated either by receiving a call, sending a text, whatever, receiving a text, it bounces off of a cell tower.
Yeah. I understand
So
that.
if we traced your phone, what would it tell us?
Notice how this is the moment that Chris decides to tidy up the cards, which is likely a grooming behavior. This suggests that Chris is feeling anxious about the information his phone may reveal about his location. Individuals may engage in grooming behaviors in order to expel nervous energy. This may take the form of grooming themselves, such as adjusting the collar of their shirt or smoothing out imaginary wrinkles from their clothes. It may also involve grooming their immediate surroundings, such as wiping dust off the table, moving a water glass, or in Chris's case, stacking up his tarot cards. When Chris is asked about what his phone data will show, you can see him covering his mouth, which can be a sign of deception, as individuals may do this as a way of literally covering a lie. Now that detectives know the supposed story of what happened to Lee on June 3rd, it's time for them to ask Chris some hard-hitting questions. Unbeknownst to him, they've been doing their research on him over the past week, and they've discovered some very disturbing information straight from Vicky Waide, Chris's own mother.
Can you fill me up in a little bit of Christopher's history growing up?
Yeah, he went into the Army.
How did he do it?
And
His mom's
deployment time?
connection.
he did some deployment time. He started having nightmares in deployment, and they sent him back.
Okay. Did he get discharged?
Yes.
And what was that? Was that a medical discharge or
It was a medical, yeah.
for psychiatric reasons?
Yes. And he said he didn't get a lot of sleep. They didn't have the barracks set up to where the night crew could sleep. I don't know if that contributed to the hallucinations. I'm not sure exactly what he was hallucinating.
What would make you think he had hallucinations?
That's what he told me.
He did?
Yeah.
What,
That's what Chris told me.
when was that?
When he was in the Army after he got back.
What kind of hallucinations?
It's possible that the stress from the deployment triggered Chris to experience psychosis. It's also a possibility that he faked symptoms to get out of the military, but typically, military doctors are able to assess for malingering, which is when someone exaggerates or fakes illness.
Growing up, his dad was
Whoa! Where they blur that? I want to see.
Whoa. Well, he's got some hustlers, dude. This man's got hustlers in this modern age.
Damn.
and Chris found it online at a very young age. Chris was
We all did, ma'am. Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry to burst your bubbles, but we're all there. All us boys, at least. Okay. That's not why your son's a murderer, because he.
Oh my god.
Because he looked at some chick's asshole when he was a kid or whatever. Like,
But
I'm sorry.
the fact that he's a grown-ass man still looking at hustlers continues to lead me to believe he is.
He's a hustler, homie.
No, he's a murderer.
Oh, yeah, right. It's called the internet, bitch. What is it? What is this? 1990 or something? Running around with porn mags.
pretty messed up with it in high school.
Okay.
He stashed pictures of every sort.
What was he looking at?
Well, I call
Well, the kind with like titties and ass and stuff.
it pretty hardcore. It was
Are you talking about like bondage stuff, or is it just strictly?
no, not really bonded, just ugly stuff. I heard
Ugly.
things from the principal called me one day and said he had touched a girl inappropriate at school.
How old was he then?
That was see, sophomore, junior year.
When's the last time you talked to him, you said?
The last time we talked was a week ago. He was home not this past weekend, but the weekend before. And he's got a new girlfriend, and we were talking about that. And,
Ew, look at that. Ewy gooey.
Bro.
This is some Jared stuff right here.
Yeah, dude, that's like a decade's worth of pillow juice, bro.
Yep. It's a pillow with no pillowcase. Looks like he has 2 pillows. Has no pillowcase, it looks like. He has no sheet or anything on the bed. Like, that shit's crazy, because you don't even have to put a sheet on. You just throw down a blanket and lay on the blanket. I've done that before, but...
Oh, I mean, dude, yeah. Just anything but that.
It's so easy to just, you know... I could get not changing your sheets and stuff on your bed every week or whatever. Maybe it's a little dirty, but that dirty, to me, that's just horrible. What a
Dude,
pig.
pillows are cheap. If yours looks like that, just get a new one. Get a new one and start using a pillowcase and change it regularly.
Yeah, how dirty do you have to be to look like that? God.
some of the concerns that I had in this situation.
What are your concerns?
Well, she told him that she wanted to talk to me. She's pregnant, not by Chris, but by another man. And Chris was...
Okay, that's how you know he's a fucking psychopath. Okay? Dr. Pepper. See it? 2 liter of Dr. Pepper.
Ugh.
Ooh,
And he
and
wasted
Dr.
it.
Thunder. That's the other bottle,
Oh,
too.
man.
It just... Ew. Fuck you.
He's a doctor.
Fuck you.
The feeling I got is Chris was trying to rescue her from some of bad boyfriends that she's had.
Trying to rescue vulnerable women seems to be a pattern with Chris. Not only did he do this with his pregnant girlfriend, but he also tried to do something similar with Lee, offering her a place to stay and some money as soon as he learned she was down on her luck and recovering from an addiction.
I asked her if she needed a place to stay or if she needed money or anything like that.
This grandiose complex may make Chris feel like the savior or hero who is protecting all of these women.
I mean, I don't know. I really appreciate you opening up to me and calming me down.
It's really hard because I don't want him to get in trouble for the past stuff.
Right.
Armed with this disturbing information, it's time for detectives to confront Chris.
Well, the family's pretty concerned about this whole topic.
Yeah.
And you know, they're being accusatory towards us.
Yeah.
Directed at you, and they're upset at you about this whole thing. They think you took advantage of her.
Yeah.
And on top of that, they actually think that you did something to her.
Honestly, I don't know where that's coming from them. I mean, yeah, I don't really know the mother all that well, but...
Well, let me tell you one place it's coming from.
Okay.
It's coming from family, friends, and specifically related to your mother,
Mm-hmm.
telling people things about fantasies that you had in high school.
Huh.
Oh, no.
It wasn't anything like that.
well, they didn't tell you about the small animals I was torturing, right?
Oh, my God.
Right? Guys, I'm trying to get the likes up. Hopefully we can also start getting some tipping coming through. 1 more like on the stream and I'll drink another beer. Maybe if we can get the likes up early enough in the stream, we can start taking off and doing really well and I'll here soon. So hit the like button, guys. Hit the like button. It helps the stream do better. At 25 likes, I'll drink a beer. So we just need 1 more. Oh my God.
Well, how about just fantasies that maybe you might have shared with either your mother or other family members or people about what some of the fantasies might have been?
Oi. Oi.
Oh.
It's Red Oi.
Oi. What oi the gay oi. Oh.
Okay.
Aye.
I'm going to assume that he's innocent and he should be released immediately because he's a fine, upstanding citizen of the USA. And how dare they infringe on his civil rights?
I always knew you were a good judge of character, Red Eye.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I'm an expert.
Aye.
Expert
yeah.
Red Eye.
Aye.
I always do a weird impression of Florida people. Alright. So, yeah. I guess Tubby will stay in the other chat until he wakes up. That son of a gun. So click the stream that I'm sharing if you haven't yet, Red Eye.
I'm watching.
Yep, I heard him to dupe in. I heard the sound.
Doop boop.
Honestly, my fantasy life is private. I keep that completely separate from my
Whoa.
normal life. And
Well, most people do, but
Yeah.
this was enough that it's out there. We have people telling us now that you had fantasies in high school of wanting to kill.
And we didn't know it, and he went to some girl's trailer and went in with the intention of kidnapping her and taking her out in the woods. The dog started barking or something, and so he got scared and left.
Did he say what his plan was to do when he kidnapped that girl?
He was going to take her out in the woods
What would he do?
and kill her.
Who is this person talking? Is that his mother?
His mother.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was wondering if it was still his mother.
What?
From how
Red Eye. Ah, man, you're vouching for this guy, Red Eye?
Yeah, what the hell?
No,
What are you dating his mother or something?
No, that was an AI that was programmed to sound exactly like me, and it came in and it deep faked me into oblivion. By the looks of it, I'm gone.
Oh, yeah. That was just AI.
she describes it, it seems like Vicky heard that her son was experiencing the desires of a serial killer and did nothing to intervene or get him help. While the incident with the girl in the trailer was 5 to 6 years ago.
Help.
Yeah.
Yeah, train him up to stalk people properly. Yeah.
Right.
Likely that Chris's desire to take
Targeted
advantage
to a
of
living weapon.
a woman never went away. He just learned that it could be hazardous to act on those desires directly. So he adjusted his method. He may have believed that by zoning in on vulnerable girls, he could live out some of his fantasies without as much risk.
okay, that was trying to remember back, but
It seems unlikely that Chris wouldn't remember what the detectives are talking about, and his acting skills don't appear to be fooling them.
Do you understand why?
yeah, I understand it.
We as the police department and the people that here work here, and now we're looking into this young lady who's missing. Under suspicious,
Yeah, I absolutely understand.
suspicious circumstances in the sense that she's dropped off the map, not making calls to anybody that she normally talks to almost on a daily basis.
Yeah, I understand.
We're getting calls and we're getting contacted by the family who said, you did something to her. I don't know. I don't know you from Adam, but some of these people know you pretty well. To the point that they knew what some of your fantasies were in high school.
Honestly, I never told anyone my fantasies.
Not even your mom?
No.
Did you ever have any discussions with your family about your sexual orientation?
No.
Did they ever confront you about that? Did they ever suspect that maybe you might be gay?
Honestly, I'm bisexual, but they don't need to know that. That's whatever I do with whoever I do it with.
Did he laugh too?
It's my business.
So that was never an issue with you and your parents or your family?
If they have any suspicions about that, they kept it to themselves.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Chris takes 2 pretty large drinks of water during this line of questioning.
Department and the people that here work here, and now we're looking into this young lady who's missing. Okay.
This is often considered nonverbal communication indicating nervousness. When a
Yeah,
person is
this is the
anxious,
most
the
nervous
fight or
he's
flight
been
response
now.
is triggered, which can cause the throat to become dry. This could explain Chris's desire for water in those moments of high stress when these topics were brought up. Additionally, when some people are nervous, they will drink water or do some other kind of action to diffuse the awkwardness they may feel. The act of grabbing a cup of water in front of them allows them to focus on something else aside from the intense stare of the detective sitting in front of them.
Well, Chris, I'm going to ask you right out, flat out, right now. Do you know where Leah is? And did you do something to her?
I did nothing to her beyond what I've already said, and honestly, I have no idea where she is.
It's important to note that Chris doesn't outright say no when answering this question. This could be an indication of deception, as straight-up lying is hard for most people. Instead, by giving a vague, non-committal answer, Chris can still feel like he's partially telling the truth. The detectives will take note of this statement and his lack of actual denial. We also hear him use the word honestly here.
Honestly, when you put it that way, honestly, I'm bisexual, but honestly, I never told anyone my fantasies.
Something that he's said with increasing frequency throughout the interview. His increase in using this convincing statement is telling, as this behavior often shows up more when someone is hiding something and is desperately trying to convince someone that they're telling the truth, rather than actually being honest. Regardless of what Chris is saying to the detectives, they can tell that he's hiding something from them.
So is there a reason why we would find Leah's blood in your apartment? Or in your bag?
We were starting to get a little more physical. We accidentally bumped into
Yeah, she was on her period when we hooked up.
each other and had a nosebleed, and she had a nosebleed, but other than that, no.
Well, what do you mean other than that? If she had a nosebleed, there's blood dripping, right?
Yeah, it was, and we cleaned it up, and it wasn't really anything, I didn't really think much of it at the time, so after she got up, I, cleaned up a little bit of a mess. I mean, it wasn't a major gusher, it was just a couple of drops.
Where at?
So I'm on my pillow.
I'm a little concerned that your story about your sheets.
Yeah.
Chris begins covering his eyes in a movement known as eye blocking. This is a clear indication that he doesn't like where
It's
this
also
conversation
known
is.
as the "you can't see me."
Also known as, oh, fuck, they got me. Oh, shit, now I'm in trouble. It's the I didn't do it, boy.
Also known as if I can't see them, they can't see me.
Well, I'm invisible.
Yeah.
Stealth mode, activate.
The cloaking device.
Is going, and there's obviously something about this particular conversation about the sheets that he doesn't want to think about or hear.
Where are your sheets in your phone?
My pillows are currently on my bed. As far as the sheets, I have no clue. For the most part, checking stuff in the laundry pile isn't something you really remember all that much. So it was routine, and it was covering the duffel bag, so when she grabbed the duffel bag, she might have thought that was just hanging out of it, and she stuffed it in there.
Chris uses a selective memory statement, I have no clue, quickly followed by an exclusion qualifier for the most part. He also begins fiddling with his collar and ventilating his shirt. Though this is sometimes seen as a sign of lying, this movement is more clearly an indication of someone's anxiety, as they may be growing hot or uncomfortable as their body temperature, sweat, and blood flow increase due to stress. That, combined with him nervously rubbing his neck, constitutes a cluster of deceptive behaviors. He's clearly feeling the stress of the interrogation here.
You didn't get rid of the sheets?
No.
Intentionally get rid of the sheets because maybe it had her blood on them?
No, sir.
If you did, no big deal. Tell us that. If you did
No
it,
big deal.
and you're freaked out that there's blood on there, she's missing, and you're thinking, oh, people are going to think the worst. I better get rid of this. I understand that.
Yeah.
I understand that, okay? But for you to tell me, I don't know what happened to him, that I don't understand. So if that's
Because
what
I really
happened,
do not understand, and if I had gotten rid of the sheets, wouldn't I have gotten rid of the pillow too? keep the pillow, but not the sheets.
Well, was the pillow a pillowcase on it?
No.
Did it?
No.
It seems inconsistent to us based on the condition of your apartment that you would be all of a sudden in the middle of that experience taking your sheets and taking them off the bed.
It was afterwards, as I told them before. Yeah. It was
Even afterwards.
Yeah,
I mean,
she went up and used the
it
restroom.
seems kind of bizarre that all of a sudden I got to take the sheets off of my bed.
You understand? I mean,
Yeah,
let's face it, your apartment's not exactly the tidiest.
I'll
Okay?
be the first to admit that.
So, why all of a sudden after you're done having, you've been sleeping on this bed
Yeah.
for hours, would you decide, oh, now is the time that I need to pull these sheets? It just doesn't make
Yeah.
sense, man.
And honestly, when you put it that way, it doesn't really make much sense to me either.
Yeah.
But it seemed like the thing to do at the time because I did laundry the next day, so I didn't want to forget about it.
Note how Chris is rubbing his neck, face, and jaw while answering questions. These self-soothing behaviors are all signs of anxiety. As the detective's questions begin ramping up, so do Chris's signs of anxiety.
The only thing we ask is for them to tell us the truth, no matter what the truth is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? The worst thing you could do is lie to us. Absolutely the worst thing you could do is lie to us. Okay?
Mm-hmm. I understand.
So, think about it again. What's the deal with the sheets?
Alright, yeah, I did get rid of them.
Okay.
Honestly, I can't think of anything else.
Would you be surprised to know that that her cell phone went out with those sheets?
What? Her cell phone.
Uh-oh.
Her cell phone ended up at the same place the sheets did at the dump.
Oh. Whoa. Huh?
I do not know. Honestly, I saw her
Who
leave
doesn't know?
with her cell phone.
How do you know she left it with someone?
She picked it up.
How do you
was
know it's at the
sitting
dump?
by the purse.
It was sitting by her purse?
Yes.
Okay. So from the time she gets this notification, as you refer to it, and the time that she walked out the door, how much time?
Well, maybe 1-2 minutes tops.
So quick.
And now's the time, Chris, that you really need to be honest with us, because scientifically and through the pinging of the phone, we can tell where it was taken to.
Okay.
So was there a phone with the sheets? And what else was
This is not the time to try to cover your tracks. This is the time for you to be honest with us.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find the words to say because to try to
Whoa,
find
dude.
the right words because I know that I have been untruthful, but
How do I lie a little bit better?
but
How do I lie myself out of this
yes,
one?
her phone was with the sheets.
Was she with the phone in the sheets?
No.
Chris, it's time for you to really be honest with us now, because I know this is really rough.
She was not with the sheets.
Is she lying in the dump somewhere?
No. God, no.
You understand what we're asking is, right?
Yeah, I understand it, but still, that's...
So where is she?
Honestly, I do not know. She left and got into the truck.
Nobody knew where she was at, Chris.
I know that. And
We've got her text messages.
yes,
We've got her phone records.
and
We know everybody that she talked to that day.
We have phone records, we have cell
I
towers.
thought that it was prearranged, okay? I thought that she had prearranged to have someone pick her up, and then...
Chris, this is a place where you need
Yeah,
to tell us
I
what
know.
happened to Lee. This is your one and probably last opportunity to do this voluntarily.
A few minutes
How are they gonna make him? Man, it's like it's about This is the only time you can tell us voluntarily.
Before they take him to court and the evidence stacks up against him and everything's there, it's because it is true. If you confess to it and you make the job easy for the court, you're more likely to get what's called a plea deal. Make it a little less than the maximum sentence, whatever, grease the wheels, so to speak. But if you put up a fight and you cost the city a bunch of fucking money, they're gonna throw the book at you.
Yeah, if he's in a state with a death sentence, his plea deal will be, hey, we won't fucking execute you if you save us doing a big trial. We'll just put you in a cell for the rest of your fucking life. Like that turd that did the drive through the parade, he got 900 fucking... He didn't do a deal, so he got 900 years in jail.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, do a deal.
Yeah, you gotta do a deal. So we hit 25 likes, so I'm gonna drink a beer for that, guys. Let's try to get some Streamlabs, some tips coming through, guys. We only got $2 in tips so far. We can do better than that.
Earlier, Chris appeared to almost be in the confession body posture, where he was bent forward. However, when the detective pushed him for information, he began to adjust his story again. Perhaps if the detectives had used the tactics of asking him open-ended questions and trying to get him to tell his story without interference, he may have been close to a confession. It's possible that the detective saw Chris was almost in the confession position and thought if they prodded him, rather than sat back and waited, that they would get the confession. Instead, they pushed a bit too hard, and he shut down.
And I'm being accused of something. What do you think? It sounds to me like yes. And I maintain my innocence, but I would like a lawyer.
Oh my
Well,
God,
that,
we have seen the first bit of fucking self-awareness put on display by one of these motherfuckers. I want a lawyer. You should have said that the moment you stepped in the room, Slick. And that was not legal advice. That was just me being... That's what I'd do. I wouldn't even know what they're about to question me about. I'd lawyer the fuck up.
This is only halfway in on this story, so
Holy shit!
I bet he backs down. This isn't the one we watched yesterday. I think that happened. They were like, "Oh, I want a lawyer, I guess," or something. Yep. And then the cops were like, "Are you sure you want a lawyer or whatever?" And they talked him into just continuing talking. And that's probably what's going to happen here, seeing that the video still goes on for a while.
I'll just have to stop our interview with you. Yes, I know. And I will give you a business card, and I'm going to tell you not to get out of town. No, I'm going to tell you that if you want to initiate any conversation with us from here on out, you're the one that's going to have to do that. I understand.
With that, Chris is given a business card and is allowed to leave the station. Over the course of the next 6 days, the detectives continue their investigation into Chris, collecting as much evidence as possible in order to secure an arrest warrant. However, before a warrant could be secured, the police received a shocking 911 call.
911?
Yes, I'd like to confess to him, I guess.
Okay. What happened?
Wow.
It's the case being handled by detectives, the case being handled by detectives Lopez and Lynch.
Detective Lopez and Detective Lynch?
Yes.
Where are you at?
Yeah, where can we get you?
I was gonna hope he was gonna say I'm at my lawyer's office, but no, apparently he's not at his lawyer's office.
Well, his lawyer may, if he has one, may have advised him to do this. Yeah, you're fucked, buddy. Go turn yourself in now.
Yeah, sadly he's not at his lawyer's office. He's sitting in a park having a case of the, I don't know, maybe this is the last bit of his humanity kicking in and going, well, yep, I'm fucked up. I think I should sit in the cell now.
I think it's more like probably talked to his lawyer and figured out how fucked he was, and then like you guys said with the the lawyer probably told him, hey, if you want to ever get out of prison, you know, like they already got you. If you want to get a better deal, confess now. You know,
Yeah, so
that's probably what it was, right?
he probably went to Lawyers R Us or something like that, or Acme Lawyers.
Yeah,
something
court
that.
appointed.
Yeah, and they just went, yeah, dude, you're fucking foobar. Just go and sit in the park and make a phone call, hand yourself in. That'll be $500.
Oh yeah.
So, you're near the pond?
Yep.
What is your name?
Christopher Waide.
Detectives were stunned. Less than a week ago, Chris had been adamantly denying that he had anything to do with Lee's disappearance. And now here he was, confessing to her murder. What had changed? As insinuated by detectives during Chris's first interview, Lee's family were desperate to find out what happened to her. Max, Lee's older brother, knew that Chris was somehow involved in his sister's disappearance, and he was tired of waiting for the police to make their arrest. So he took matters into his own hands. In an interview conducted on the same day as Chris's 911 call, Max described how he and Jesse, Lee's ex-boyfriend, worked together to discover the truth.
The last couple days, me and Jesse have been playing buddy-buddy with him over text, trying to make him think that we didn't think he did it. We got him to meet up with us to do a tarot card reading for my sister.
Despite the emotional stress he was under while being near Chris, Max had the smart idea to record every single thing Chris said to him. The confession tapes begin with Chris doing a tarot reading for Lee, claiming that it will give them an idea of her current situation.
This isn't the best reading, the best omen for a reading I've done, but it is fairly positive. I don't see any indication of anything who would want anything or anyone who would want to harm her or physically impede her in any way. But I do see that when she's coming out of this, she'll be the better for it. I don't know about different, but I think that she will be a changed woman when she comes out of it. It's the only card that has any bad, I guess you could say bad omen would be the Two of Swords. The Five of Wands is a neutral omen, but it indicates paranoia, so she might be feeling really scared right now. But the Three of Pentacles and the Lovers are both very positive, as is the Six of Pentacles. So I would say there's every chance when she's found, it'll be safe and sound.
It's possible that one of the reasons Chris enjoys doing these tarot readings is because he's able to get people to listen to him and pay attention to him, something he never got in high school, and likely hasn't gotten much of as a young adult. It could also give him a sense of power over others, as some people make decisions about their life utilizing these readings, and it's another way to make them do what he wants.
So Chris, I have one more favor to ask of you.
Okay.
Not as a suspect and family sitting here, but as friends and acquaintances and a group of people that used to know each other and all are worried about this girl that's missing.
Yeah.
Instead of me and Max, maybe badgering you with questions, would you just tell all of us as friends, like once and for good, like just what happened that day while she was there, when she got to your house, and just what took place?
Okay.
For our peace of mind.
All right.
I'm confused why you told me you can't talk about all this. And you're talking about all this. I mean, it's good that you are. It's good that you are. But they would tell me not to talk to you. They wouldn't tell you not to talk to me.
Yeah.
No.
It's hard to explain the things that go on in my head sometimes to someone else, but
Chris, your stories, they didn't add up at all. Not one. You told different things to other people. If you had something not to hide, you would have told the truth the whole time. You're not.
Why did you keep things back the first time you told this story?
I will be going forward with the police about this. I haven't yet because I'm trying to find the right way to do it, so...
This is the right way, right?
Yeah.
Now. This is it. Right. This is it.
I know. But what I say right now, it's going to be very hard, but until I come forward with them to it, it'll be within the week, I swear to you. But I'm gonna have to ask you to keep it to yourselves until then.
You tell me right now what happened to my sister. You know what happened to my sister?
Yes.
You know if she's alive or if she's dead. You know.
I do. Unlike in my original story, afterwards, she wasn't tired and didn't ask to pass out. She tried to use that to manipulate. She wasn't yelling, but she was very venomous. And she grabbed the knife that I keep by my bed. And when we go back, I can show it to you.
What happened with the knife?
She grabbed it and pulled it out and tried to attack me, saying that she would stop attacking me if I agreed to buy drugs for her. I don't know, but there was desperation in her eyes.
She wouldn't do that, dude. She wouldn't do that, Chris. Stop lying. She wouldn't do that.
I'm not lying.
She wouldn't do that.
Keep going.
Keep going. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm just over.
I am not lying.
Okay.
She thrust at me twice. I dodged the first one, then I grabbed her hand on the second. And when she thrust again, I turned, grabbed her, then stepped forward and twisted her around so that her body was in between me and the knife. And then I placed my hand at her throat. I didn't start squeezing until after she kept going. I said, we can end this right now. There will be I won't say anything to anyone. Just please drop the knife, and I'll let you go. You can get dressed. You can leave and go wherever. And she said that she would stop when either she was dead or if I agreed to buy her drugs. I told her I did not want that. I told her straight up to please stop and get dressed and go. But she used both of her arms to push against me with the knife, trying to cut my arm to get me to let go so she could keep attacking. So I started squeezing on her throat.
There's no way Chris could have positively known Lee's intent in that moment. It's also worth noting that Lee was only 90 pounds, making it hard to believe that Chris was struggling to overpower her and get the knife. This is what makes his story sound just like that, a story. He's decided that the only way out of this is to claim that anything that happened to Lee was in self-defense.
Honestly, I thought that her muscles would relax when she went unconscious, and that I could gradually move the knife away and let her go and let her regain consciousness, but that didn't happen. I've been running through my head trying to figure out why. She kept on fighting and fighting. I kept on telling her to drop the knife and I would stop. Drop the knife and I'll stop. You can, and I will leave the room. I'll be waiting out in the patio. You can get dressed. You can go. I'll stop talking to you completely. But she kept shaking her head no. Adrenaline was rushing through. I didn't see her stop shaking her head, but she was still pushing against my hand. So, but then it was like a rubber band snap.
She pushed her throat into your hand. Oh, yes, mate. Yeah.
Yeah. Duh.
Completely wax, and it took me completely by surprise, and I ended up cutting her. It wasn't very deep. It was about an inch and a half cut along her sternum. That took me completely by surprise, and I dropped her. She landed on the floor. I turned her over to check and make sure she was still alive. I didn't check on her throat because I had just been grabbing there, so I didn't think I could get a clear reading off of that. So I checked her wrists, and when I didn't find anything there, I checked under her arms and then the inside of her legs as well.
Keep in mind, the brother's in the room with this fucking motherfucker right
I know.
now. So
That's all I'm thinking, dude.
I expect to hear a gunshot in about 10 seconds when he pulls out a fucking 1911 45 and just goes pop.
It's one of those things.
Wouldn't
dude.
surprise me.
I mean, man, props to this guy for being the bigger man and letting the law handle it. Because, man, every instinct is like fuck what he's saying. This is obviously a sloppily took days to piece together a cover story as to why I dumped your sister's body somewhere. Fuck you, dude.
And I keep going back and thinking I could have handled that better, but I just panicked.
Although many had suspected it already, this was the first time Lee's death had been confirmed.
After she went limp, and I checked the pulse and didn't find anything.
So you couldn't call the cops though if you didn't.
Honestly, I was
bring her back, or did she?
Well, hold on.
Yeah, what happened after she went?
Whoa, hold on. I'm telling my story, bitch. Okay.
limp.
After
she went limp, and I checked the pulse and didn't find anything, I'll admit it, I flat out panicked. After I was coherent enough
I'll admit it, I panicked. I started getting a boner.
Oh my god.
I did things that I don't want to talk about here. Yeah, but yeah, things happened after she was on the floor. Just say that.
functioning again, I'll admit it, I wasn't rational, and I did things that I should not have.
Oh shit!
I should not have done it.
What? You took the words out of the future.
A person.
You took the words out of the future, Red Eye. Like, he literally just said the pretty much exact things you said as a joke. I did some things that I don't want to... Or he said I should not have done. Oh my god.
But I covered everything up.
Just like we saw with his initial interview, Chris is back to using convincing statements. We can hear him using statements like honestly and God's honest truth in order to try and manipulate everyone into believing him. It's possible that one of the motivations behind this confession is that it's possible he knew the police were on to him, and it was only a matter of time before they arrested him. He may have wanted to test out his self-defense story on Lee's loved ones to see if they believed him. If they weren't buying it, he would then have some time to adjust his story to make it more believable for police. Chris likely had no idea that he was already being recorded.
I took her body, and I put her clothes back on. Then I laid her on my bed and covered her in a blanket while I was trying to figure out what to do. I didn't wrap her in them or anything like that. I put a bag over her head just because even though I kept
just to make sure she was dead.
I'm sorry it came to this, Lee.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Just to think that the brother is hearing him in the room face to face talk like this, dude. Holy shit. It sounds like not just the brother, some other family member is there too as well. It's I don't know, mother, sister, or what, but
and friends. So
the coldest he's just so cold the way he says all this disgusting shit.
Yeah, and imagine the brother. It's like a pressure gauge, and it's just going 100 psi, 200 psi, and then there's this red zone. He's been in the red zone for like the last fucking 5 minutes, and he's held the pressure in. Shit's gonna. I hope he at least lands a couple of punches on this motherfucker, because obviously the dude walks out of there and gets to go to the park and go, well, I met someone. So let's see if the brother gets a couple of licks in at least.
Man, who knows? But I say, I think a lot of people would. I think a lot of people would after hearing what we just heard.
I was sobbing it to her while I was doing this. I felt guilty over what had happened. After I got rid of her, I didn't want the smell to attract anyone, and they were those odor control trash bags, so I figured I'd lay a couple over her. I put a bag over her head, and then I'd place 2 on top of her.
Concealing the victim's face is often done for a few different reasons, but in this case, the only likely reason is due to emotional detachment. Some killers cover their victim's face as a means of distancing themselves emotionally from them. By concealing the face, they might create a psychological barrier to dissociate themselves from the person they have harmed, making it easier to commit the act. Due to Chris's pedantic speech, it's hard to tell if he's being honest. He sounds very dramatic at times, such as when he's talking about sobbing to Lee's corpse, as if he's trying to convince the others that killing Lee and hiding her body pained him. The emotion he's trying to portray doesn't match up with the horrifying story he's telling. It's also worth noting that Chris was incredibly meticulous in terms of the steps he took to hide the body, such as using odor-controlled garbage bags. It's almost as if he had planned this in his mind and in his fantasies for a long time.
Afterwards, my roommate walked in. He was early, and I just told him that I had a guest over and that she was sleeping. Before he had got home, I had used some rags to clean up the blood, and I put those into a grocery bag, and I put that into the duffel bag with her. I carried it out. And at first I tried the waiting game. When 2 o'clock in the morning rolled around and he hadn't gone to sleep, I decided to try and sneak it past him. I was taking it out. I don't think he would have noticed if I hadn't said anything, but in case he did notice, I just said I was taking something to my car. But I didn't take her to my car. I knew that if I was gone for any length of time, he'd get suspicious. So I did the only thing I could think of, and God help me, I put her in the dumpster.
It's important to note how Chris repeatedly refers to Lee's body as it. Referring to her as it may allow Chris to forget that this is a human body of a girl he has known since high school, thus letting him distance himself from his own terrifying acts.
I know you won't believe me, but I will be turning myself in to the police. I will tell them...
No, you're going to jail right now. You're going to prison right now. Where do you think you're going, man? You think I'm just going to let you walk away and drive away? You killed my goddamn sister. No, you need wait for...
Come on, let's...
Get my phone, get out of it. All this recorded, call the cops. They're already on their way.
Having finally heard enough, Max did what likely everyone in his shoes would want to do. He punched Chris. Chris was forced to call 911 shortly after that, and the police soon arrived to arrest him. Max was also brought down to the station in order to give a statement to police.
He says that she tried to attack him for drug money when I was going to give her money, and she knew it. So why would she go that far? She would just be like, my brother's going to give me money off and leave.
Max certainly brings up a good point. It makes no sense for a 90-pound woman to start a fight with a man who is nearly 6'3" when she knew she would be able to buy substances as soon as she met up with her brother.
The first time I talked to him, he told me the basic things. She came over, they talked, she fell asleep, he looked through her purse, found paraphernalia, not heroin itself. That's a lie. There was no actual heroin in her purse, at least I don't think so, and I really doubt it, because if she had it, she would be trying to kill him for drug money, which that's another inconsistency in his life. She had heroin on her.
Again, Max's logic checks out, and it
Yeah.
makes sense that
Yeah,
he
that is a
immediately
big
suspected
hole.
Chris was some.
That's such a big hole in the story. She was really desperate for drugs where she wanted to kill him, but she had a good stash already going on there.
This guy. I wonder if he was strung out and he's fucking wanted it for himself, and who knows what motivated him. All we know is that the brother got a couple of licks in, because that looked like a pretty decent shiner, so well done, son.
How involved.
Telling you, man.
Aside from pointing out the issues with Chris's story, Max also points out inconsistencies with Chris's character. During his initial interview, Chris made sure to emphasize how much he loved his friends and how he would be willing to sacrifice anything for them. However, Max's interactions with Chris show a different side of him.
The one thing that specifically pissed me off is because he messaged me and he was upset that the media went to his house. He was upset at me and my mom because we told the media the apartment number, which I don't remember us even saying that. So I told him, I was like, I'm really, really sorry. Like, my mom must have said something. She's just worried sick about her daughter. Mm-hmm. You know, like, come on, man. And he's just like, and he says, well, tell your mom thank you for all the migraines she's given me. And I hope she gets a migraine herself for all the pain she has caused me.
Despite Chris claiming that he would do anything for those he cares about, he reveals his profound selfishness when he wishes a migraine on Lee's mother. People with antisocial personality disorder seem to completely delete from their awareness how they contributed to or caused a problem. They only see how other people's actions affect them. Chris's insistence that he is a gentleman despite clearly not acting like one could also be an indicator that he has significant grandiosity and narcissism, something that is very typical of people with antisocial personality disorder. It's possible that Chris believed himself to be superior to other guys, i.e. the bad ones who mistreated girls like Lee and his own pregnant girlfriend. This is, of course, a paradox because Chris had long developed desires to kidnap, assault, and murder.
I used to go to high school with him. Okay. Cotopaxi. You know where Cotopaxi is?
So how long have you known?
This is in Canyon City in the mountains. We all knew each other.
I've heard of that, yeah.
This is how she knew him. I mean...
How old are you?
I'm 21.
And he was...
I don't know, like 22.
So he's like...
He's one grade up.
This is like a small, where it's like K through 12, basically, though. Yeah. So how many years did you know him total?
He was only an acquaintance to me. I never really... hung out with him.
But it was a small enough school though where you did.
Yeah, it was just like not once did I ever like give it or anything like that. I wasn't that kind of kid in high school. It was just like I talked to him sometimes, but I never like was like really buddy with him. You know, like he's an acquaintance, he's someone I knew at school. You know, I didn't really. He was creepy to me.
In high school.
He just looked like he was creepy, and that was it for me right there. I talked to his mom like 2 days ago, and because I heard that he had thoughts of killing a certain girl while he was in high school, and I wanted to confirm it.
All these plans to assault girls demonstrates that Chris was a ticking time bomb. Sadly, his verbalized desires were not taken seriously. Typically, when a person has such morbid thoughts, it's likely not long until they act on them. Oftentimes, they just need to be presented with an opportunity, a situation where they feel they can get away with it.
You described Chris as being creepy in high school and weird. Can you describe, the creepiness, what, things that he did?
What makes this motherfucker so creepy?
People that characterize him as being creepy and weird.
I seen him in high school and he looked frustrated with himself all the time. And he also, just the way, how you could just see somebody and just know that, they were just weird, and it's not even like with drugs or anything, he's just really weird. I know that he thought he had a mental disability. I don't know what exactly it was, but you can kind of tell when you see him, and his mom even said that he did. He actually would think, and his mom told me this, and it totally brought back my memory of when I did go to high school and what I did hear about him. And then he would get frustrated with girls because in his head, they would be flirting with him. And I talked to everybody I went to school with, not once. You know, nobody flirted with him. Not one person. And he would think that someone's flirting with him, and he would get really upset and frustrated. Mood would change all the time in high school. Like one day he's like talkative a little bit, one day he's just silent.
This could be an indicator that Chris may have struggled with social cues. It's also possible that he was showing signs of grandiosity beginning in high school, and he wanted to believe that girls found him desirable, only to become frustrated and angry when that didn't turn out to be the case. This may have contributed to Chris gradually developing anger towards girls, which ultimately accumulated and led to him wanting to seek revenge against women in general for not acknowledging him. With the insightful information they'd gathered from Max, and now that Chris had confessed, it was time for detectives to once again question him and get to the bottom of what actually happened to Lee. Only this time, he has his attorney with him. Much like his confession in the park, Chris's story starts out similar to his original story. Lee came over to hang out, the two got food, played some video games, and then Lee kissed him, leading to the two sleeping together.
Then afterwards, she wasn't tired, but she did try to sweet talk me into buying drugs for her. And when I told her that no, I wouldn't buy her drugs, she escalated from there, trying just regular persuasion, then coercion. She wasn't yelling, but she was very acidic in her words.
Chris's nonverbal communication is locked down tight. His hands are tightly clasped, and while it's hard to be certain based on the angle, it looks like his ankles are tightly locked underneath him. This indicates a high level of defensiveness and anxiety. He's not open to the officers at all, or even his attorney.
And I tried to explain to her that this was an unplanned thing. That was her from the start. I had no other feelings for her beyond that of a friend. And she grabbed the knife that I keep by my bed.
Grabbed the knife?
Yeah.
From where?
It was between my bed and the wall. She grabbed the knife and pulled it out. And she started threatening me with it.
Why are all these old men drawing? What does that have to do with this?
Immediately, there are some issues with
They're like, look, I drew a happy
Chris's
face.
story.
Well, to be fair, they've heard the confession. They already know. Like, they don't even need to yet, like, stop mid-sentence and go, did you do it? Like, they fucking know. They've got a recording of him. 2 recordings, in fact, of him confessing to this murder. So they're just basically in there just doodling, like, doing stick figure doodles.
It would be funny if one of them just picked up his notebook and pointed at everybody, said, look, SpongeBob! And then everybody's like, whoa, that's good, check out my drawing. It's art class.
First of all, he claims that he has no feelings for Lee other than friendship. However, according to his Facebook DMs with Lee, that's not quite true. When Lee was briefly considering moving in with Chris in order to stay off the streets, he told her she could sleep in his bed and that he wouldn't mind having a relationship with her. Lee made it clear that she wasn't interested in Chris, calling into question whether or not she would have actually slept with him, or if this is just another thing Chris is lying about. Additionally, Chris claims that Lee grabbed the duct tape knife he kept between the wall and his bed, considering that this was the very first time Lee had ever been in Chris's room, so it's hard to believe that she would know that the duct tape object poking out from between the mattress and the wall was a knife.
Then she started thrusting it at me. It was overhand, straightforward, and I kept a firm but not too firm grip on her hand. Lee, please stop, and I'll let you go. You can.
Wait, she was doing this with a knife, and you had a grip on her hand, but not a firm grip on her hand. Like, I wasn't trying to grab her hand
Firm,
too
but
hard.
not too firm.
Yeah, it's like,
Right.
how does that make any sense? If no matter who it was, if they were like, shh, I grabbed their hand as hard as I can and stopped them, I just wouldn't be like, hey, don't make me use all my strength to really stop you now.
Yeah. Look, here's the other thing too. He's 6'3" apparently. She was 90 pounds, so she's like 5'3", I'm assuming. She's like the size of an elf. Okay,
Yeah.
so, and she's got the physical prowess of a 90-pound woman. He's like, makes no sense. She didn't know the fucking knife was there, sport. Like, you're the one that pulled the fucking knife out. Let's get that clear. She had no idea that knife existed because it's wedged down between the fucking wall and the mattress. How did she know it was their first time over? Like they just said, your story makes no fucking sense. Here's what I hypothesize. He put the hard word on her. She said no. Like the brother explained, every time a girl fucking said no to him, he'd get cranky, except this time all of those murderous urges boiled up to the surface like black fucking pus and popped like a zit. We got ourselves a real-life murderer. That's my hypothesis. This guy's a piece of shit.
Nah, I think it was all the girl. She,
You know what? You're absolutely right. I withdraw.
It was all her. She's to blame.
You won't hear anything about this from me to police report or anything like that. You can grab your, you can get dressed, you can grab your stuff, you can go right now. I won't stop you. And she said no, it was not going to work out like that.
That's exactly what she said?
Well, she said no, if I can't have drugs, then I want to die.
It's interesting to note that Chris telling Lee he would let her go free and never speak with her again sounds more like something...
You'd think if that was the case, she'd hit up the rest of her H. You know, you'd think she'd be doing that if that was the case. At least using up the what she's got left, whatever that is.
...would say to someone you had just attacked, as opposed to something you would say to someone who is attacking you. His hand covering his chest is a protective gesture, which would make sense as he's talking about allegedly being attacked. However, the collarbone is a sensitive area of the body, and covering it could be a subconscious, self-comforting gesture. It may indicate that he's feeling vulnerable or emotionally guarded during this conversation. It could also be an attempt to create a barrier between himself and the detectives, signaling a desire to protect himself because he might not be telling the truth.
I guess I wasn't paying attention after a while because the adrenaline was getting to me or something. I didn't notice her stop shaking her head, but she was still, I did notice that she was still struggling against my hand. But then after that, I let go and I brought her to the floor. I laid her back down to the floor and I panicked.
At this point, do you wish to continue to speak?
You know.
In other words, we've heard everything we need to hear.
No, that's his lawyer. He's trying to say, hey, shut the fuck up. That's what he's trying to say.
Yeah.
But you notice how he's not pushing that hard. He's not saying you should. He said you should. He didn't just say shut up. He just went, "You sure you don't want to?"
Yeah, it's probably because he already knows he's fucked, but he wants to do his job.
Well, yeah,
you know,
he wants to keep his lawyer's license, so he's got to do that. But instead of going, yeah, my client's got nothing else to say, like a lawyer usually does, I love how he just gently sort of looks at this. Are you sure you want to keep talking? Like, he's doing the bare minimum to keep his so he doesn't get disbarred. And I really like this fucking lawyer, by the way. He's like,
well, it seems like
Jeff's
the
kiss
lawyer
brother
understands that he's already like part of something that he's not gonna win. Like, but he probably gets paid anyways. But he's just like, okay, yeah, he makes his little notes and stuff, puts on a show, and does what he needs to do. But yeah, he knows he's fucked. And this dude should be smart enough to know that when his lawyer looks at him and says, "Are you sure you want to keep talking?" He's go, "Huh? Maybe I don't. You're right." But no, I bet he's gonna say the opposite. He's going, "No, we'll just keep talking. I like this."
Yeah, I'm quite comfortable talking about this, right? And when he had his hand around his collarbone, then hold on. Here's what I think. I think he was reliving the moment of choking that chick out, and he's like having nearly got a bit of a chubby sitting there in the fucking interview room.
Like, God, my neck is so much bigger than hers. I'm sorry. I make fucked up jokes sometimes.
Chris's story. Notice how his feet and body are angled away from everyone
I could nearly fit my whole fan around
else at the table. This posture is commonly known as a closed nonverbal cue and could be an indication of discomfort and disinterest, as facing towards someone else when speaking to them is a sign of being engaged in the conversation. People's feet often point in the direction that they want to go. His feet are aimed away from the room, showing that he wants to leave. People can much more easily lie with their hands and mouths than they can with their feet, because we aren't taught to watch our feet when we lie. Now, having heard Chris's story about the fight,
Now I have been.
Yeah, now I know. Whenever that's one interesting. I made this joke before doing this, but it's almost like they're teaching us how to be really good criminals. This is how to be a proper criminal 101.
Yeah.
Learn from these guys' mistakes.
I mean,
We
honestly,
should do seminars, dude.
Really?
We do seminars, yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, a person that does do that kind of stuff, like if they were gonna do some sort of crazy Minecraft crime, that would be a good way to probably go about it, to study things like this. That's what I'm doing. I'm preparing.
the detectives begin to pick away at his questionable story.
Did you have her after she was dead?
No. Ew. That's.
I mean, obviously before she got cold, or that would be disgusting.
Yeah.
Ew.
That's why I wrapped her in a blanket, to keep her warmer for longer.
Oh yeah, it was an electric blanket, so it helped.
That's not even in anything of my fantasies even. My fantasies from high school had gone pretty dark, and that wasn't even in there.
So you say that's not part of your fantasies. What are your fantasies?
I'm going to say to, again, counsel you not to answer the question.
Yeah,
Chris
can I
acts
say-
very
don't
oddly
say
when
that?
asked this.
Yeah, he's like, again, the
He's
lawyer
trying.
probably knows he's most likely fucked this guy here, but he's trying to do him a little bit of a favor, it sounds like. Although, I don't know how this stuff works. Red Eye's probably right about him needing to do things just to keep his license or just reputation as well, I would think, as a lawyer who defends his clients well and stuff. Because I mean, look at this. This is on the internet and everything. This is everybody can see. I mean, even if it wasn't on the internet, it's public stuff. Anybody can get access to this.
Maybe, what if the lawyer doesn't want his mind with that effluent in it, and he's just got, you know what, you just shut up. I don't want to hear about your dark high school fantasies. I really don't need that in my head. I don't need that nightmare fuel. Shut up, for the love of God, please.
Yeah, it's starting to get disgusted. Just shut up.
Question, where most people would vehemently deny such a disgusting accusation, Chris gives an emotionless no, ew. As he says,
Yeah, it's like Shabisky, do you like mustard on your cheeseburgers?
Yeah.
No,
Oh.
ew.
Ew. Ew.
Do you fuck people after they die, Shabisky? No,
Oh.
ew.
Ew.
Nah. No,
Ew.
not real. No. Maybe, kind of.
God.
Nah.
this, you can actually see him shake his head up and down, almost like he was shaking his head yes, while verbally
Ew.
replying no.
Motherfucker.
Once again indicating that while Chris may be telling the police one answer, he's
Do you like sour cream in your bean and cheese burritos? No, ew. No.
clearly thinking about
Ew.
another. With Chris bringing up his dark high school fantasies, detectives try to dig a little deeper in.
But they could ask me, Shabisky, do you like to drink Dr. Pepper? And I would say, no! That's fucking disgusting! How dare you even... How dare you even ask me that question, you piece of shit!
So, are you trying to tell me that if I bought you Dr. Pepper flavored beef jerky for Christmas, that you wouldn't like that present?
Can I
Is that the thing?
separate the two somehow?
Yeah,
I like
no.
beef jerky.
extract the Dr.
If I soak
There
it
is-
in water long enough, maybe?
There is there is Dr. Pepper fucking flavored beef jerky. Like, what the fuck, America? Seriously, do you have to do? Does Dr. Pepper have to end up in everything? Like, come on, man, come on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I think I saw that somewhere. I don't remember where I saw it. Like somebody showed it on the internet or something. 'Cause I don't think I saw it in person. But Dr. Pepper flavored beef jerky. Yeah, I guess I'd be interested to try one of the ones that are a soda that I like. I've never tried something like that. I wouldn't normally go for that.
Here's what you do. Go and buy some beef jerky and get a fucking can of Dr. Pepper. Throw some fucking beef jerky in your mouth, chew on it for a bit, and then sip some Dr. Pepper. You're there, bro. And apparently that's actually the better way to do it, because the Rhett and Link, I saw it on Good Mythical Morning. They just went, just get some fucking good beef jerky and a can of Dr. Pepper, and it tastes better doing it that way. So there you go.
Yeah.
Back to the murder.
It's like, yummy beef jerky. Now I'm going to ruin it with some Dr. Pepper.
It was innermost thoughts.
When we talked to you the other night, you told us about a couple of girls in high school that you were still angry at.
I'm not angry at them now, but I was very angry at them in the past, and when I was in high school. And I know they were just being kids now, but back then I was very, very angry at them, and I wrote down the things I would like to do to them in the journal.
Oh, man. And what kind of things were those? You know, the same exact things that happened with the other girl recently.
And where's that journal at?
You
The one that you
know.
wrote all that stuff in? Is that something you kept?
No, I didn't keep it.
This might seem...
Wait, he didn't keep it and he's telling this story? He's telling that part of it, that he had fantasies about things he wanted to do to teach them a lesson for not dating him? He tells them that, even though the book doesn't exist anymore? What a genius. Yeah. What a genius. Because when they said that, and then he answered, like so honestly with it and stuff, I'm thinking, oh, he has his journal probably back at his home, so he knows that they're probably going to find it anyways. But no, he's like, yeah, long gone. Oh, good thing you told him, dipshit, retard.
A little bit bizarre to you, but are you under any kind of a treatment for mental health issues right now?
No.
Have you ever been?
I have. It was because I was having nightmares in the Army.
Oh, God.
And the doctors there were more concerned about getting me a full night's sleep and making sure that I was fit for duty than they were about my mental health.
It's important to understand that any medical discharge for psychiatric reasons would have most likely involved a serious mental health diagnosis, which effectively rendered Chris unfit for future military service.
Do you hear voices?
No, but the main factor in me deciding to come forward with the truth is somewhat bizarre.
I'm going to ask you again to not reveal any further details.
It's
Hey, please.
Can you
shut up?
maybe stop digging yourself a bigger hole?
Yeah,
Maybe
dude,
stop.
this lawyer's cucking the content here, dude.
Yeah, shut the fuck up, lawyer. I'll throw you $20 just to shut the fuck up. Okay, we're trying to run a business here.
This lawyer's great. I bet he's got his iPhone there and he's got an Apple AI assistant going with a timer going every 5 minutes, going to an earpiece saying, remind him not to say anything. And it's like, oh shit, yeah, got to prevent myself from being disbarred. Listen, at this point, I advise you to shut your fucking mouth, because the hole you're digging you're nearly through to China, my friend. You've dug a hole through the center of the earth and you're about to emerge in one of the Chinese fucking states. Please stop. Look at the lawyer. He's like, this lawyer's just going, well, how did I catch this case? Why am I here? Why aren't I in the Bahamas sipping on a fucking drink with an umbrella stuck in a coconut shell? Fuck my life.
He dug a hole so deep he could hear Chinese people speak.
Yeah, he was. He's nearly in Shanghai.
Yeah.
It's important to note that an attorney cannot forbid a client from speaking with law enforcement, even if they advise against it, The client is in control of the representation, and the attorney has to respect those wishes. Though it's not clear if Chris's attorney advised him to talk to police, it's pretty likely that the attorney told him not to, but Chris decided against this.
I guess what I'm trying to get at is just as
Yeah, well, I think, yeah.
He was boned, he knew
issues
it.
that we need to be aware of.
Yeah.
No.
Have you thought of yourself about over this thing?
Over this thing, I thought about it briefly, but
Hold on a second. Hold on. I thought you'd fixed your green screen. I should have known better.
Where's
I
Bill
should have
Hicks?
fucking known better.
Where the fuck is Bill Hicks, dude?
Yeah, he needs to tip and tell me about the green screen.
Even on DP, they said, "Oh, look, Shab's fixed his green screen." It's like, oh no, he hasn't.
Yeah, that's what we understand.
The easiest course of action is very rarely the right course of action.
Have you ever been diagnosed with any mental condition? Again, I'm going to ask you to not respond.
Not to my knowledge, no.
Are you aware of reality?
Yes.
Do you know where you are right now?
I'm in the Westminster Police Department in an interrogation room.
Chris's lawyer may have advised him not to answer this because it's possible that they are considering a diminished capacity or insanity defense. A key aspect of that type of defense is that the defendant didn't know the crime was wrong or didn't understand. Admitting to a known diagnosis suggests prior knowledge of the mental disease or defect, and therefore also its impact on the defendant prior to the crime. Admitting that he knew he had a diagnosis could eviscerate the chance of them using this defense. Despite his lawyer's warnings, Chris did eventually decide to come forward with this information. If you remember, Chris had told Max that he was already planning on turning himself in the week that Max got him to confess. Chris claimed that his tarot cards told him that if he didn't confess, the guilt would eventually destroy him, and he alleged that he was going to take his own life. But Lee's spirit had come to him and told him not to.
I'm not going to judge it right or wrong, but I do regret what I did. And I keep wishing that I could go back and do it over again to try and
relive that moment.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like when he says that. He means something different, but it does. It does sound like that's what he's saying. Like, I want to do it over and over, relive that.
Keep that from happening.
Do you think you should be punished? I'm going to ask you not to answer the question.
Yes and no. Yes, because in my panic, I lied and I destroyed evidence, but no, I'm not for her murder.
Wow.
And I'll accept punishment for her death, but not for her murder.
What does that mean?
Like a manslaughter, fucking no.
Yeah, I guess murder is technically manslaughter, and its death could be an accident. So, but I guess that's what he's trying to argue here is that is he still trying to keep with that narrative that she attacked him and it was an accident. Yeah.
It's a very classic response by individuals with antisocial personality disorder. They often manage to twist stories.
Guys, we've been streaming for nearly 2 hours, and we've only gotten $2 in on the goal up there. Let's get some tips coming through, guys. Hit the Streamlabs button in the chat. Do I even have it pinned in the chat?
Yeah, we're some streaming demons out here.
No,
I got a
you do
beer.
not.
I haven't even cracked, dude.
Oh, no wonder nobody... Okay, there. It's pinned now. Now you're obligated. Okay?
Every time someone does a $5 dono, I'll do a weed with my butt.
Yeah, we have a menu thing in the top right corner. What do you think about that, Red Eye? I think that's a cool thing I added.
I like that. I'll take a beer, 2 shots and 5 weeds, please.
Yeah, 2 shots and 5 weeds. Yeah, come on, guys. Let's get some tips coming through. You can tip $5 for us to drink a beer, $6.69 for Dirt to take a shot, and $5 for us to do a weed. You know, you just type it in with your tip, what you want us to do. You know what I'm saying?
Choose your fighter.
Around to place the victim at fault. As detectives prepare to wrap up Chris's confession, he tells them there's something important he needs to share with them.
When I came in here just a second ago, you said that there were some things you wanted to add to this. Now, before I forget that, and before we not give you that opportunity, I just want to give you the opportunity to add whatever you want to.
It's just that overall, I lived my life as not really emotionless as possible, but not very touchy-feely either. It's not that I don't feel emotion, but I keep a very tight rein on it. And at my grandmother's funeral, I probably cried maybe 4 or 5 tears total. And even with all the touchy-feely speeches and stuff at my brother's wedding, I didn't even shed a tear. So, just to notify you of that, I have emotion, but I keep a tight chain on it. Because
No,
the only emotion that I find any sort of value in is loyalty to friends, to family, stuff like that.
Even after confessing to murdering someone and covering it up, Chris is still doing his nice guy routine, claiming that above all, he values loyalty. With this final statement from Chris, his interrogation was concluded, and he was arrested and charged with Lee's murder. One of his criminology professors would soon come forward and state that he believed the criminal justice classes he took helped Chris learn how to manipulate a crime scene. In fact, as police continued to gather evidence, they spotted Chris on security footage at a 7-Eleven near his apartment, where he bought bleach and rubber gloves on June 4th, the day after Lee was killed, which he then used to clean up after her death. Though Chris later denied that he went into criminology to learn how to commit murder, he admitted that his classes helped him to predict the line of questioning in the interrogation room. And yet, it didn't help him. After his arrest, Chris made a few video calls to his friends and family, and they were interesting to say the least. While talking to his mother, he alluded to the fact that he never expected to be in jail, perhaps because he didn't think he would be caught.
And they're getting ready to discharge me from medical into general population. They're sitting there going, they're just sitting there saying, okay, we're going to send you to medium, you should be safe there. All you have to do is just tell them, if they ask you what you're in for, just tell them, domestic violence or something like that. And
oh my God.
Right there, like, you do know my face is all over the news right now.
That's in Australia. If you go into jail for beating up your missus or killing your missus or hurting kids, the rest of the inmates will make your life unpleasant.
Oh yeah, they look at you like you're a weak little bitch. Oh, you killed a 90-pound chick that was just a fraction of your size or whatever. Like,
did you hear what he just said?
Shit.
He just said, the people running the facility said, when we put you in medium security, just tell them you're in for domestic violence. That's just like they're setting him up to get slapped. Oh, chef's kiss. I love the American prison system. It's not there to rehabilitate people. It's there to fucking punish you.
Yeah, you're right. Them hearing domestic violence is going to make them want to kick his ass, too. I was thinking of that wrong, but yeah, you're right.
And not only that, word gets out. Someone's going to find out who he is and what he's done, and then they'll also find out, so you're not only do you kill little girls, you're also a liar.
No little girls, but yeah.
Well, whatever, dude. It's for a 19-year-old.
90 pounds a little girl. That's and I mean that respectfully. She's
my girlfriend's 19.
I mean not, but 90 pounds. That's what I should say is a small adult.
I said little girl.
She's a midget woman. She's a midget woman.
I think like if that were my little sister, dude.
Yeah. Well, again, props to the dude for getting the licks in and not just jumping on that guy and jumping up and down on his head like it was a trampoline, because that's kind of where I would have been at. I would have been like, let's make a meat patty. Jump, 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 jump.
Oh my God. Yeah, right?
Then
It's
he's
quite
like,
the visual.
okay, hold on a minute, let's see what we can do about that. Then next thing you know, they came in and chucked me some fatigues for the minimum security.
Oh. Did they think there would be some violence in the other one?
They didn't say, but I would assume yes.
How do you feel about that?
Yeah, how do you feel about the constant threat of violence?
It would be nice if people didn't jump to conclusions, but it's understandable. It's hard to follow what the lawyers were saying and not talk about everything, because like everybody in here is talking about what they've done, and
Streaming, screaming, demon Martians riding go-karts in my head. Whoa. That sounds cool. That sounds like what's going on in this guy's brain most of the time. Thank you, Whiskey. Yeah, be like Whiskey. Help with the goal, guys.
feels impolite not to talk about it, but I just tell them it's still a kind of a sore subject.
You said that it would be sometime in September when the DA presents.
Okay. Well, it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to keep myself busy playing chess and checkers and relearning the game of Uno and Skip-Bo.
On a few occasions, some of Chris's classmates
Skip-Bo?
video called him to
Yeah, that's what they do in Connect 4. Don't forget Connect 4.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Whoa, wait.
They're in there playing Clue.
These two are his. Are they simps for this motherfucker in jail? Please no, ladies. He murdered one of your friends. And you're going, instead of rallying around Max, the dude that got the good lick in because he just sat in the room with the dude that murdered his sister and listened to the entire fucking story while it was being recorded, you're still going to go in knowing the facts he's recorded. There's 2 confessions been recorded. There's fucking 2, and you're in here simping for this. Oh, you should be flushed down a toilet. Down the toilet you go. Flush.
I wonder if they're related.
I hope
offer
so.
their support.
Yeah.
But all of our friends are behind you, and we believe that we love you, and we wanted you to know that no matter what, you're still going to be here. We're still here for you, and I don't want you to feel alone, bro. Not going to lie, dude. Like, we seriously have been really, pissed off because a lot of people had to stay on your Facebook, so we definitely got on there and the ground having your back about that.
Yeah.
This reminds me of G Money Forever invited me to his Discord the other day. And I joined and I started messaging all the people in the Discord, which there wasn't many, but I messaged them all my video of exposing him, going over the exposed video of him being a weirdo. And all I got back was weirdos like these 2 chicks that are like, bro, that was a long time ago. Bro, have you been holding on for this for 3 years just to talk shit? Bro, what a loser. It was just shit like that. It's like, what? I showed you a video where he was trying to hook up with a 15-year-old. And he had a daughter at the time. And he told the 15-year-old he wanted to impregnate them. It wasn't a real 15-year-old. It was somebody playing as a 15-year-old, but he thought they were. And that's the disgusting stuff he said. And they're trying to be like, what? You've been holding on there for years, bro? What? It's like, what? No, you should care about this. You must be a weirdo your fucking self. That's weird.
Yeah, he's
old news, dude.
My suggestion is everyone that defended that behaviour should probably be on a watch list.
Yeah. It just kind of reminds me of that because it's just totally mental retarded bullshit sticking up for the wrong person. and feeling feeling so just and stuff and what they're doing. It's just stupid.
Yep.
You know, now that I think about it, this guy looks a lot more like G Money than he looks like you, Shem.
Shem?
He does. He looks like G Money right there.
Yeah.
I can just imagine how you feel, dude. Like, I don't know. What's going through your head?
They didn't watch it? Exactly. That's part of the problem. They should be like, oh, shit. Well, let me watch it. And if it's something stupid, be like, dude, that's something stupid. But they didn't. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Let's go on.
They can't watch it because it will cognitive dissonance. Their brain will literally fucking short circuit and reality will collapse around them. And there's something about this generation. I hate saying this, but I think computers have made us soft and we need to go back to the old school, like throw out calculators, computers, fucking everything. Make kids use their fucking brains again because they turn to mush apparently when they hit this age and start going around going, you're a murderer, you're our buddy, we got your back, don't worry, we were defending you on Facebook.
Yeah, and Scooby said they didn't watch it. They actually started mocking the numbers on it as if that justifies not taking it serious. They're like, oh, it only has 6 comments. Nobody's watching that. Stuff like that. It's like, what? Okay, weirdos.
Are you scared?
And it was originally a live stream, so there was like 500 comments in reality, but they were all in the live chat. You know?
Good. I'm glad that you're not like completely by yourself in there, and that people aren't trying to keep the then I would have to like break in there. So defend you.
And another call.
I'll break in there and I'll beat up all these jacked up prisoners.
You're gonna. Yeah,
she'll break in there so that he can grab her by the neck and make her his
this is a
90-pound
classmate.
victim.
A classmate of hers.
Oh, yeah, and she looks like she weighs like 100 pounds or something, so it's just another easy victim for him.
Yeah, he could take her.
I could.
It again emphasizes her support of him.
I think about you a lot, like more than you know, probably more than I should. Like, and I realized how much you meant to me until you weren't there anymore. And I feel like I don't know, I feel like it's a lot of people, but I don't want you to think that you are forgotten about or that you're not loved.
Do you think that the reason that they are doing this is a clout chase? Like they feel like, oh, he's like all over the news.
No way.
Everybody's talking about him.
There's a weird phenomena where like when dudes get caught up in criminal and shit, women. I never realized how much it meant to me.
If they dated that guy that's all over the news and stuff, they're gonna get a bunch of attention. I don't know. I just wonder whether it's like, hey, I want attention kind of thing. That might be a big part.
Here's the thing: how long do murder cases usually get clout in the media for? Like when the trial's on, and then it fades within days. This is a thing that's been happening since I can remember, where doesn't usually have to be a high profile case like. This where they fall in love, she possibly could end up marrying this guy and going and seeing him in jail and giving him conjugal visits if allowed. It's happened time and time and time and time again. It's this weird fucking thing, and it's like
Turns out all he needed to do to get a girlfriend was just murder a woman.
Oh my god!
Yeah, murder one of their friends, and then one of the other friends went, "Oh, you killed my friend, but you know what? Let's hook up. I think I want to have your baby."
Yeah, sure, you murdered my friend, but I think you're kind of cute.
Yeah. What's your number?
Kind of look like G Money and Shabisky in one.
But I was already insane to begin with, so that didn't really help or hurt for me.
His classmates ended one of their calls by offering Chris some advice, but only time would tell if he would actually take it.
Yeah, no,
don't kill people.
Yeah, we need to have a lesson here. Do I need to walk you through this? You have the right. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. So shut up. Even if it's you and I know you. I know how smart you are, and I know how sarcastic you are. And I know when somebody pisses you off, you get smart, sarcastic without even thinking twice about it. And shit like that can get you in trouble. So watch your... Really?
The question was,
You know what it must be is they buy his story of it being defense kind of thing. That's
I'm
probably
sure.
what it is.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
would those who knew Chris still support him after police uncovered his true...
They're probably like, oh yeah, I remember that bitch.
God.
I remember that bitch back in high school. She was so fucking rude. Yeah,
Hold up, dude.
she probably did it.
The shoe's about to drop. He said, will they still support him after they uncover his truly deplorable secrets?
truly deplorable secrets. While it seemed to many that this disturbing case was finally at an end, Chris still had several more disturbing secrets for the police to uncover. Ones that were so twisted, no one had yet suspected the true depths of his depravity. During their thorough search of Chris's apartment, they discovered a spiral notebook where Chris had written down his confession. The notebook told the same story that had already been told to police. However, some of Chris's deeper thoughts about the event were revealed. Maybe the inspiration behind his decision to document his demented version of Lee's death in writing was derived from one of his many past tarot readings. One particular card, Judgment Reversed, may have struck a powerful chord within him. A note written by Chris read as follows: "This card represents me. I believe that the deck is warning me of a character flaw within myself, that I am gathering bad karma. Or it could mean I'm avoiding a decision for fear of the what-ifs." Apparently, he faced his fear and composed the letter. An excerpt from his chilling confession read as follows: "Before I begin, let me again offer my most sincere apologies, both for the pain I've caused because of my fear, as well as the pain I'm about to bring by stepping forward with the truth. Lee is dead."
So he said, though I'm solely, and then he crossed off mostly. He crossed off solely and put mostly responsible for her death.
Imagine being so fucking lazy that in your confession letter that you put solely and then read it back and go, ooh. Yeah, might want to just change that one from 100% of blame appropriation to a percentage that's, I want to introduce plausible deniability in this thing. So I'm just going to go, mostly. Yep.
He didn't even
now
turn
my
it
confession
around and use the eraser. The bastard.
it's now not even liquid paper or anything. He's just gone. It's crossed out solely and gone. Just wrote above it mostly, instead of just getting out another bit of paper and keeping the first one and writing it again and replacing the word. So it looks, because you're solely responsible for it. Your brain knows this, but your cognitive dissonance kicked in and went, oh, look out.
Yeah, they're like, though I purposefully murdered. Wait, no, that's how purposefully, accidentally murdered. Okay, yeah, this sounds better.
I with premeditation. I mean, it was
I didn't even know it was gonna happen.
Yeah.
Later in the letter, he wrote, "I lied to try to protect myself out of fear that no one would believe the truth. Chris was right to feel fearful. However, nothing about his far-fetched story so much as resembled truth." Chris makes himself out to be the victim in these pages, pondering about what Lee would say to him if he confronted her for manipulating him. He also claims that Lee used him as the weapon of choice to take her own life, showing just how unwilling Chris is to take responsibility for his horrid actions against her. Alongside the notebook, police discovered something they never would have expected. Chris appeared to have several pairs of underwear which looked like they belonged to a girl much younger than him. Over the course of the search, the police learned that Chris was an avid writer. Whether he was writing down the results of his tarot readings, working on the manuscript for a novel, or just jotting down random thoughts, it seemed like they were always finding a notebook or piece of paper with some writing on it. These writings all appeared to be harmless at first. However, closer inspection of one of the stories they had found proved to be more than concerning. Titled Uncle Dave, the story was written by Chris and appeared to be about a 32-year-old uncle abusing his prepubescent niece. To say the officers who discovered this were disturbed would be an understatement. Between this perverse story and the underwear that had been previously found, officers were becoming increasingly worried about how far Chris's depravity might go. As with Lee and many others his age, Chris would spend much of his time talking to friends on sites like Facebook, wondering if there could be evidence hidden away in Chris and Lee's Facebook DMs. Officers took Chris's computer and did a deep dive into his account. While the conversation between him and Lee would prove useful to the case, it was the other conversations on the account that really put detectives on edge. Based on the messages they were able to find, Chris seemed to have several women in online contractual slave relationships. He would find women, often from foreign countries, who were in desperate need of money. He would promise them money in exchange for explicit photos, conversations, and complete control over their lives. For one particular woman, Chris even made her agree to let him kill her whenever he wanted, claiming that it would be legal.
What the fuck?
What? The actual fucking fuck is going on with this guy?
And he wanted to call them slaves.
As long as she signed a contract stating that she was giving him permission to murder her.
Yeah,
A
that's not
message
how
from
that
Chris
works.
to the woman read as follows: "If I have a legal document drawn up stating that she became my slave of her own free will, I believe that would mitigate things severely." For this particular woman, Chris's message served as a reminder to refer to him as Sir at all times. Oftentimes in the messages, the women would show reluctance towards some of the things Chris would ask of them, and he would manipulate them into eventually giving him what he wanted. Having promised money to several different women in exchange for these relationships, Chris often found himself short on funds for the month and would not give the women their money even when they did follow his orders. This entire situation is indicative of Chris's sadism, as he seems to enjoy the power and control aspect of committing violence against vulnerable women. The police were horrified to discover the relationships Chris had with these women, and it was clear he was just taking advantage of vulnerable women who were willing to do anything to get money for their families. The more they uncovered about Chris's personal life, the more and more his claim that he killed Lee in self-defense began to fall apart. Unfortunately, things were only going to get worse from here. Continuing their search of his computer, the detective's worst fear was discovered. Chris had been looking at explicit photos of children. Through his browser history, they'd been able to prove that he had been on several sites that hosted these disgusting photos. When paired with everything else they had discovered about Chris, detectives were able to put together a complete picture of this depraved individual. Chris preyed on vulnerability, which is why he sought out Lee with her addiction problems, women online with financial issues, a girlfriend who had become pregnant and was abandoned, and, most disturbingly of all, defenseless, powerless children. Unfortunately, despite the information given by Chris, Lee's body has never been found, though some of her clothing and her bag were eventually found in the local dump. Chris was eventually charged with first-degree murder, assault, evidence tampering, and the possession of inappropriate photos of minors. Realizing that he was looking at spending the rest of his life in prison, Chris supposedly cut a deal with prosecutors to plead guilty to second-degree murder and exploitation of a child in exchange for having the rest of his charges dropped. With this deal in place, Chris was sentenced to 48 years in prison.
48 years in prison.
Damn.
Holy dick in a butt. That's a long time.
It's a hell of a long time.
Where's Timmy at? You would think he had woken up by now, boy.
That son of a gun.
That piece of shit. That pizza shit.
Dude, that one was rough. That was a sicko for sure. That was a textbook, like, cream of the crop sicko. One of the sickest sickos we've ever discovered on this channel.
Yeah.
He's quite sick. Like the kids' clothing? No. What in the actual fuck?
Nar. Nar.
No, mate, no.
Nar. So, I don't know if it's possible for us to make some good jump up in the goal, but if we can make some progress, we can maybe keep this going a bit longer. We got a little start on the goal of 4%, but...
Oh, you're crackling, Chad.
It went crackly then, mate. That mic.
Boom.
Beep, beep, boop, beep, beep, boop, boop. Yep, I understand perfectly. Benefit of being a Cylon, I understood that clearly. Beep, boop, 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 bop. Boop, beep, beep. Fixed it.
Okay, so yeah, we made it 4% on the goal. Would it be possible for us to keep making some good progress on this goal to keep this stream going? I thought with the new menu, people would go crazy today. People don't even care about the menu.
They're scared. They're scared of what the menu might bring, dude.
Whoa.
They fear the menu.
Holy dick.
Don't be scared. Just push the button and then type in beer or weed or shot. It's pretty easy.
Oh,
we hit 10%. Come on, let's do it. Let's go.
I think they're scared. I think they're scared, Red Eye.
There will be a brave one amongst them that shall step forth. Start the tip trade.
Where's our heroes?
If we hit 10%, I'll dress up like Tina Turner and do that song from Mad Max. We don't need another hero, but we do. We need you. I'm pointing at you, chat.
No.
You sexy, sexy beasts.
We don't have as much people here tonight as the last stream.
We did start a little late. It was a late night.
Yeah, I started the stream later than...
And you had two guns and his oiled up body attracting people into the chat too.
Oh, yeah, he's beautiful.
It's like flies to honey.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to do a weed because I'm just going to donate $1 with my mind. Boop. There we got to 5%. We're great now.
Telepathic dollar.
Yep. It was a dollar. It was an Aussie dollar, so technically it's like worth 0.00001 cents in American money. It's like not even a tenth of 1 cent, so it doesn't even show up on the goal, sadly. My apologies for our piss poor exchange rate.
You son of a bitch. You son of a bitch.
Yeah, those dollary dues are pretty worthless internationally, but over here they're worth $1. Fun fact.
Timer on the screen for us to keep the stream going. Maybe we can get to at least like 10 or 15%, something like that, to keep it going, but I don't know. I don't know nothing.
Let's meet in the middle, 12.5%,
Oh.
and the stream will continue.
Whoa, 12.5.
No, I want to see 18.12%.
Whoa.
No more, no less.
Yeah, the $2 coin in Australia is smaller than the $1 coin. And the $1 coin compared to American stuff, I'm actually not too sure. But the old Australian pennies were actually fucking huge. Well, sadly, guys, I've got to hit the frog and toad because people will be cooking dinner around here shortly and there'll be some clanging of pots and pans and sound of microwaves beeping, and you don't need that on your live stream, so...
Yeah? Okay, big boss.
Get you some grub, dude.
Yeah, need to have a bit of tucker, mate.
Well, thanks for hanging. It's been fun as always. I guess we'll just have to see if that Timmy guy's awake.
Yeah, come on, Timmy. Time to wake up, buddy. Hey, thanks, chat, for hanging out, and I'll see you guys next time.
Adios, my
Good night,
friend.
Red Eye.
Later.
The pussy turned it off.
Timmy.
Yo, we got him, man.
Yo.
Yo, it's my boy Timmy, dude. Welcome to High Crimes. You're live on the podcast. What's up, Home Slice?
Yeah.
We live?
Yeah, we're live doing High Crimes.
Yep. You said you wanted to be on High Crimes. Here you are. You were asleep. We tried it first, but you were asleep. But we knew we'd find you.
What's the timer for?
Oh, dude, we're waiting for someone to come in and swoop in and save the day, Timmy. It's the end.
It's the end.
Well, it could be. It could be. Could be the end of High Crimes as we know it.
Yeah, we gotta cancel High Crimes.
Somebody had to.
About time, motherfucker. Everybody's been waiting. Where are our heroes? What the fuck? Ougie. Why are you being so mean, Penis? Why? I named you. You're basically my child. Why are you? Yeah. Why is he being all rude to his father?
No, he's right, dude. Our collective cocks have shriveled, dude.
Whoa.
We're done for. We're washed up.
Whoa. Right when we got the better
Yeah.
layout and stuff? Gosh.
We were so close to it, but never quite there, dude.
Damn.
Sorry we failed you, Pepinas.
I'm a father now. Pepinas is my child. Sure, he's a little retarded, but he's still my kid, you know?
He's still family, damn it.
Yeah. Oh, damn.
You want to do some monkey boys? If we don't get a tip,
We could. Maybe.
I can maybe do a little bit. Monkey around a little bit. But I do have to work later on.
you need to freaking quit your job, bro, and go full time with Dank Dumpster.
Yeah, dude. As soon as we get that Dank Dumpster W-2.
Oh, damn. It's blowing up.
Once
I
we're
came out
fully
of
running a
you,
business.
But you know how... He said, I came out of you, but you know how Boo has Kid Boo come out of him. I'm like the evil version. Oh. Cool. I didn't know there was an evil Bisky. That's neat. Oh, damn. Guys, 4 minutes left on the timer. We need some people to come through and be our heroes. Help with the Streamlabs goal. To keep the stream going.
You think, it's too late in the night, Sunday morning, Saturday night, Sundays, whatever. You think you can't be a hero. You think the time to be a hero is past. It's not true. You could still be a hero.
Yep. It's true.
You could save the day before it even begins.
Oh, damn. Yeah, and yes, Pepita, you did come out of me. That was the biggest shit I've ever taken. It was miraculous.
Miraculous? I thought you didn't believe in God.
Yeah, I mean, that...
He believes in Pepinas.
I didn't. Now I am, after seeing that turd. I looked down and my turd was smiling at me. And I'm like, what? Am I a daddy? Oh my gosh. I shall call him Penis. He is my poopy. What's up, Zarina? Zarina, we're trying to make further progress on the goal, or else we're canceling high crimes forever.
We're trying to run a business here, clearly, Zarina. That's what
Yeah.
you've returned to.
Yeah, fucking Rafis will tell you, that dipshit retard. Trying to run a business here. Yeah, the yeast from my armpits, yeah. No, that's how I make my beer.
That's foul. That's pretty foul.
Yeah.
I think
That
that
tastes
might
good.
be an infection, bro.
Oh.
No, it's natural.
Yeah.
You produce people from the yeast in your. No, you produce beer from the yeast in your armpits.
Yeah. See, he gets it.
It's gonna be some quality stuff.
Oh, damn. Only a minute and 40 seconds left on the timer. I guess the end is nigh. The end is nigh. Did you dye your hair like purple a little bit, Timmy, or something?
No.
Oh, never mind.
Yep.
I guess it's just
Purple hair, dude.
Never mind. It just kind of looked like it because of the camera or whatever.
Have you considered dyeing your hair purple, Timmy?
No.
All
Purple?
right.
Why purple?
Why not? What's wrong with that, Timmy? You afraid of standing out? You don't want purple hair?
I don't want to be no woke agenda dodging.
Is that like a draft dodger?
Yeah.
Timmy show wise. Gosh, I guess we can't accomplish this. I don't know why we're having such a slow night tonight. This is crazy.
I'll mark it up to starting late.
Yeah. So,
Did you see how many boosts I did on the server?
No.
Discord? We were down to only like 4 soundboards. Now we got the full soundboard. So we can do things like.
damn, Toby. Yeah, that's cool. Nice.
Daddy,
Thanks,
chill.
Toby. Yeah, what was the... Oh, I wonder if we have the ability to put the thing on us that shows off the server now again. I liked when we had that, and it's lame that it gets taken away so easily. Oh, no, it's still not boosted enough for that. That's lame. Like having the server tag next to your name that says Dank. It was cool when we had it, but it's lame that it needs so much boosting to have that ability.
Yeah, it's a load of shit, dude.
With all that boosting, the least they could do is let me have a weed leaf instead of a leaf for the symbol. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Cool guy weed leaf. Everybody would like that. But yeah, cool Timmy. Timmy boosting the server like a cool guy.
I think someone said they might tip if you go on Kick.
You're such a dork. Alright, I guess I'm gonna end this stream, guys. I guess we'll go over to Kick for a little bit and stuff. Probably shouldn't even be staying up as late as I am right now, because I gotta wake up and do some stuff, but Here's a link in the chat for Kick. Come over to Kick, guys. I will see you guys over there in just a minute.